go back to sleep. Apparently, the reason that your body jerks while you're trying to fall asleep is because the brain gets confused and it thinks that you're dying. So it's just like, hey, are you still alive? It's just checking. It's just jerking your body as like a maintenance routine check, right? And you might wake up, open up your laptop, and you've got the page open to a billionaire selling the daughter to just like a on sale sign. Now, you might pull up your laptop like I do and be like, you know what? Since I'm already awake, let me do some work. And then you go and you see this woman being sold online and you're like, but I can't stop thinking. I can't stop thinking about the fact that my body just thought I was dying. My brain was like, hello? Now, if I were using any other web browser, there's no way that I would have the brain capacity at that hour to open up a new tab, ask my question, go through 50 links just to find out, is it true? Is it not true? Does my brain really think I'm dying, to find out if it's real? But luckily, I have my Opera desktop browser, aka my search best friend. Opera is not only built to be faster and safer than default browsers, she's also high-key smarter, just so much smarter. She has a built-in browser AI called Aria. And whenever I'm browsing while using Opera, whether I'm watching videos or reading articles, doing research, I can easily click on a sidebar and open a chat box with Aria. I can ask her any questions I have just on the fly. I can instantly tip, tap, tap, and Aria gives me an answer based on the latest information available on the web. Latest information available. In this case, Miss Aria told me that no, your brain does not actually think that you're dying. It just thinks you're falling off a building. She didn't say it like that. She said it really professionally. And I said, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Which is why they call it falling asleep. I'm just kidding, but Aria do be funny, okay? Opera is the best browser if you do any kind of research. Whether you're writing a thesis or an article or doing homework, Opera has everything you need. And you know what? I think Opera is good for everyone. You better be downloading Opera on your parents' computers, because why do parents just read headlines of articles and take that as is? Opera will actually summarize the rest of the article for you, just to let you know if that was an attention-grabbing headline that makes no sense, or if there is some validity to it. There's also color-coded tab islands, which I use all the time, especially when I have like 30 plus articles open at the same time. It makes it super easy to track. Opera makes it possible to customize your workspace as well, and even keep tabs open in separate workspaces, which is great if you're working on multiple projects at the same time, which I do, and my attention span cannot focus on one thing at a time, okay? See, Opera's so good, they're coming for me.
If my crime is researching so well with my tabs, then take me away, officer.
Opera also has a built-in VPN, which makes internet browsing a lot safer. And it comes with a built-in ad blocker. That means you can read articles without having to click off 20 different ads that pop up. But my favorite feature is Opera's built-in battery-saving feature. While we were in Korea, we would go to local cafes to hang out, and I would do some work, right? But the outlets, they're few and far between. And they're not even the US, you know what I mean? So the amount of times I would forget my charger is embarrassing, but thanks to Opera's battery saver, I just click one button and one extra hour of browsing, which is one click and no charger. So if you want to feel safer, more secure, more sexy while browsing the internet, check out Opera. Click that first link in the description and download Opera today for free. Thank you, Opera, for sponsoring today's video. And let's get into it. So we got the Rolls-Royce Phantom in the parking lot with the license plate Cecil. I just want to give you some context. Cecil Chow is old money. Cecil Chow's dad was one of the founding fathers of Hong Kong's shipping industry, which is like, that's how you know people are making money, when they always answer that they're in some sort of random ass industry that you've never heard of. They're not celebrities, they're not CEOs, they're like, I own ships.
No, literally in Hong Kong,
Yes.
there were like a handful of billionaires back in the days. They're all ship tycoons.
Oh,
they literally
it's a port.
So they all made their first generation of wealth from ships.
Oh, apparently his dad built one of the most important shipping dynasties in the 1950s, which I believe Cecil's siblings have taken over. But Cecil ends up being like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing. And he becomes a real estate tycoon, just buying up land, developing massive commercial and residential properties. He owns apartment complexes, which I don't even know if that's the right way to put it. It's more like apartment villages. There's one compound that he owns. It's a collection of multiple skyscraper apartment buildings, and in the center is this whole ass fucking town. A park, massive pool, amenities. He's out here creating little cities in Hong Kong, all over China, in Macau. Oh yeah. He's getting his hands into the casino money. So he's making a lot of money. He's in the process of developing more buildings, and it's estimated that his collective assets, at least on paper, are in the billions of US dollars. He could be worth more. The way he does business is also very intense. There was one time people said, okay, Cecil Chow, you think he's going to be this fun, eccentric billionaire, right? But then you walk through a building with him and he's doing this quality control. He's looking at everything. And one time, one of the agents with him is stating that this chandelier is way too big for this space. It always has to be proportionate. This chandelier is too big. He looks at the agent, looks at the chandelier. Well, that's your point of view. Moving on. He doesn't care. He doesn't care for people's opinion. He's very crazy. He says things like, rich life is easier than being poor. Which, like,
That's really good advice, sir.
I've never heard that.
I will follow that advice.
And it kind of makes people like him. I mean, they're definitely afraid of this guy. He seems a little weird, but they like him. He does nothing to downplay his wealth to the point where Cecil lives in Villa Cecil. It's a massive 4-story, 16,000 square foot modern villa in the middle of Hong Kong's wealthiest neighborhood. He wakes up. This is his morning routine. And we're going to get into it because part of his day, he's like selling his daughter online. Anyway, long story. Okay. He wakes up in bed, lays there for 2 hours to quote, think. He has a 10-foot wide circular bed, a circle bed, 10 foot wide.
Why does this sound so similar to
Roland? Oh my God, he's Roland.
Wait, because you're saying the club? He wakes up and he meditates and thinks?
Oh my God, in his circular bed?
I don't know.
He does have mirrors and glass everywhere in his villa. And his bed is covered in mink. And when he's done thinking, he walks over to his almost all glass office.
What about his body count?
Oh, 10,000.
10,000?
We're gonna get there.
What do you mean 10,000? He had 10,000 girlfriends?
Yes.
How old is he?
78.
78?
You said before you've been with over 10,000 girlfriends. Is that true?
That's very true. I mean, more.
He has 10,000 girlfriends?
Definitely over 10,000.
Like at the same time?
Yeah, now he's 80 and he tones it down. He has like 4 girlfriends a day. He never keeps the same girlfriend for 2 consecutive meals. So if he eats breakfast with you as his girlfriend, you're not staying for lunch, buddy. Pack it up. Yeah. So his whole house is glass, so he can see all his girlfriends in which rooms they're in. There's no point in even trying to rob the place because every single surface is prepped for your fingerprints. He wakes up. He puts on his all-diamond Piaget watch. This is literally a billionaire's morning routine. Are you even awake if there's not $250,000 on your wrist? He wants to know. He puts that on. He walks over to his office. He sits down. There's a button on his desk. He clicks it. It's a microphone. It's like this. Okay? And he just goes,
ice cream.
He's 5. He's 5 years old, I'm convinced. Ice cream. A few seconds later, the door will open and there's a woman carrying a gold tray with a pint of vanilla Haagen-Dazs and an expensive gold spoon right next to it. That's his breakfast. He just eats chunks.
Of ice cream? For
Haagen-Dazs.
breakfast?
Vanilla ice cream. Apparently he's really into ice cream. So his daughter says, the one he tried to sell. Okay, so he just
you
eats
gotta
there.
clarify. Why is he selling his daughter?
We're gonna get there, okay? So he just sits there, raw dogging, no cone, no syrup, no drizzle, vanilla ice cream. And he says, I think that every person living in this world is just here for one purpose. That is happiness. And then he leans down. He's got this Louis Vuitton duffel bag that's right next to his desk. And he pulls out a pair of designer sunglasses. But the entire duffel bag is filled with designer sunglasses.
What?
All it has are designer sunglasses in
Like
there,
how
apparently.
many's in there?
Imagine how many you could fit in a duffel bag. I don't think he's ever counted.
Like hundreds of
Yes,
sunglasses?
in a duffel bag. And
That's so confusing.
his house is just all sorts of crazy. People call it a fun house. There's mirrors on the ceiling. He's Roland. There's a 30-person dining table. There's no cohesive theme. So he'll have very ancient Chinese art worth probably millions of dollars. And then the next round over, like 2 feet over, you got like the Cause statue.
The what?
The little streetwear statues.
Right.
That's the vibe his house is giving. I'm sure it's all super expensive, but it's very confusing. It's just a lot, right? So just to give you some background, this guy is rich. And here's how we determine his wealth. We know he's a billionaire, but even the billionaires have ranks. There are tiers to wealth in places like Hong Kong. For most people, you would think, hey, you have a Rolls Royce. That means you're rich. You're richer than everyone else who doesn't have a Rolls Royce. But what if every single person in your friend group has a Rolls Royce? Then maybe you compare the model of Rolls Royce